So that's where our rug and campsite just was, where a big bunch of cows just decided to roll right on through and leave us a little present on the way out.
Their poop isn't firm. It's juicy, green, oozy poop that just squirts out as they walk. So, it's everywhere.
And then the cows, they're like all around us right now. They came in like 2 days ago. It was kind of cool, like 50 cows just come into your campsite and they start eating the grass, but cows do.
They're literally like a half a foot from the van, surrounding all sides of the van.
Yeah. And so they come in and they eat and they eat and they eat and then they take a little nap.
And then they nap.
And then they
poop.
That's all they do. And so
there's one pooping right there.
That's
gross.
disgusting. That is gross. So then your campsite, kind of starts to smell like a farm. The flies, I think, come in and swarm around it because of that. And, that kind of ruined the water a little bit too, because they hang out down by the water. And
they go bathe in the water. We were going to go swimming until we saw what the cows do in the water. And we're like, okay, we're not going to go swimming anymore.
Yeah, imagine 50 cows rolling up on your beach and then just making it a mess and, hanging out in the water and stuff like that. So, but anyways, this is a sweet spot if you are.
It's a sweet spot.
You got to check it out if you're near Wyoming. It's a cool spot. People stayed like one night. We were here for 6.
And it was magical for us because we haven't seen any sort of a body of water since Los Angeles, which was probably in November, so like 7 months. So when we rolled up and we saw this bright blue, beautiful body of water, that closed the deal for us, and it was worth it for that. It was a nice change of scenery, but now I'm getting very irritated. I'm starting to get really irritable because it's hot and humid. Flies are coming out. There's cow poop everywhere, and we had the incident with the battery yesterday, so like we have a lot of things going on. It's time to go. Usually things start to mount up and then it's like, okay, it's time to go. Plus we are about out of fresh water.
How do you like driving through Wyoming compared to Utah or Colorado?
Well, it's a little bit more boring. I'm really tired right now, so that just helped, that adds to the boredom factor.
Yeah, well, I think we're a half hour in. I just realized how it's all the same. It's not changing. Where's the mountains?
Yeah, it's just
the rivers,
a lot of
the
land.
streams, the trees.
It's just a lot of farmland.
Yeah. So we're hitting up Wyoming's Welcome Center, and we've actually hit a few Welcome Centers the past couple states, and they're like free RV dumps, free water.
Super cool.
And you can't pass up. We did just dump like 2 days ago, but since we're traveling, so we're using our bathroom a lot, we might as well do a quick dump and then maybe a little top off on water. And
it just makes sense. Otherwise, it's like we spend all the time and settling, getting into a new boondocking spot, and then if we don't come in with fresh tanks, then we're only going to last like 2-3 days.
And there's some BLM, I think about a half hour or so from here, so it shouldn't be too bad to find a spot.
Good.
It's a little baby fox.
We last saw our fox when we were at the Tetons.
That was so cool.
He's a cute little guy. He just started prancing. I hope it works out to stay here.
Yeah, I hope it does too, because it is pretty nice, peaceful. It's pretty. That's the reservoir.
What is a reservoir?
It's just a body of water that's like man-made.
It's so blue out here.
Yeah. Public access area.
Let's make some friends that have a boat.
Yeah, it looks like boating and fishing is allowed. Beautiful. Well, we're heading back out. Mission failure, and it was pretty busy here. There was not really anywhere to really park.
This is why you give yourself plenty of time to find a spot.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool. You can camp anywhere from the road to the reservoir, but it's just, there's only maybe a dozen spots and they were all pretty full. So it seems like this is a pretty well-known local place.
Really beautiful. We ran into one local, he was kind of stuck in the road, but he was agitated because of how busy it is for a Thursday. So
yeah,
apparently this is busier than usual.
So on to another spot to see what we can find. Well, this is our second shot at a second reservoir in Wyoming. There's a lot of cows on this one. He's looking at you funny, Chris.
Well, I'm driving through his bathroom area. That's a crazy amount of cows right here.
Yeah.
Tucked in better this way.
Yeah, just trying to give those guys a little bit of privacy up there.
This feels level. Check our system.
Yeah, so we're kind of having some tough time here finding a good spot. It's beautiful, like the lake's right outside, but it's just so packed right now. It feels like Memorial Day weekend, doesn't it?
It really does.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Kid's coming in here.
A little kid?
They're telling us not to park here.
Why?
I don't know, he's shaking his head at me.
Oh, you guys do? Okay. Sounds good. I thought they were kind of close. So apparently we're a little too close to the rig next to us, and I think they just pulled up and they have a couple more people coming in.
We got the boot.
They were really, really nice about it, weren't they?
Yeah. Excellent people skills. Do I want to turn right here?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because this is the next option,
I think,
right?
yeah, I think they connect a little bit too.
Yeah, they seem to link together.
Some of them do.
This looks kind of steep going down here.
Well, let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. That's no good there for us.
We're having a rough day today.
Yeah, we've been driving for 8 hours. I mean, we visited the Rocky Mountain National Park this morning, so that kind of adds on a lot of driving, but
yeah, 8 hours, 15 minutes on the clock, and no end in sight.
yeah. Well, we'll keep trying. Victory! We found one.
Barely.
This is the last gate. Gate 2 after this. Well, there was gate 1 we could have tried too, but that looked pretty busy. And it kind of looks like this is a freshly newer spot, and the bugs look bad, and we're in the weeds, but we'll take it.
At least to sleep tonight, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at least so we got something.
Am I tucked in?
Should we just stay here for the night and we can figure out what the hell we're gonna do later?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We'll take it.
Yeah, long day.
Yeah, 9 hours of driving.
9 hours of driving.
That's a lot. I guess on the good news, our battery's charged up to 100%.
Yay!
Yeah, that happened a while ago though.
Home sweet home.
2 days of driving.
You know, some days are some places are really easy to get spots, and some days are really hard. Some days are difficult.
Yeah, I would say
It's really
this
stressful.
this is the most difficult we've ever had. Usually it's maybe an extra half hour, 45 minutes of looking. This was like an extra couple hours just because the places were an hour apart, and getting around that first lake took 30 minutes, and then I think we've been here for like 40 minutes.
I think longer than that.
Yeah, so we're gonna settle in, have some dinner, relax, and crash.
Yeah. Catch up on some Z's.
It is pretty out there.
It is.
Gonna get to listen to the frogs tonight. I don't know how much we're going to show of us driving around trying to find a spot tonight. So that's why I just wanted to talk about this for a minute, because that was pretty frustrating. That was, what time did we leave Colorado?
We left the visitor center.
1?
1 or 2.
I think it was like 1:30. And it's now almost 7. Sorry.
7:05.
It's now after 7, so.
It was a long day.
Yeah, and we had to drive a couple hours to get here. But it can be amazingly frustrating trying to find boondocking spots, and we're in a little van that's pretty easily, able to get to a lot of spots. So if you're in a big trailer or big motorhome and you're not used to it, it's going to be frustrating at first.
And that's why, to go with what I was saying earlier, the big rigs sit for the full extent of the full 2 weeks that they're allowed.
Yeah.
Because it can be a pain and it can be exhausting.
But there's probably 30 or 40 fifth wheels out here. I mean, that's how busy it is right now. So you plan ahead. Go on Thursday is a really bad day, we think. We're finding that Thursday afternoon.
Thursday's the new Friday.
It is. People start coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday is busy. If you go on those 3 days.
If we would have gotten in this morning,
yeah,
it would have been a different story probably.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But as soon as that noontime comes where people can take a half day,
yep,
then you're going into the 3.5 day weekend.
Yeah.
Crowd.
But once you get to a spot and you have your own little private beach and lake access, and there is nobody that's within a couple 100 feet of us, so
it's really, really beautiful here. Like, on its own, this location is a jackpot.
Somehow we just turned down the right road and found a little pull-off spot that's perfect.
Hey, some good news. I think I got the coffee out of my sweatshirt.
Oh, good.
Looks clean.
Feels like a week ago that you washed that in Colorado, Rocky Mountain National Park.
It's still wet with Rocky Mountain water.
Nice. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second, because it can be frustrating. It's not all like beautiful, lovely places. I mean, it is once you get there, but it takes a little bit of planning and a little bit of time to get there. And
you usually have to stay patient with the situation and with each other, and just remember how lucky you are to be in this situation.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get frustrated and complain because you're driving around looking for a spot to sleep. Well, how cool is it to be driving around looking for a spot to sleep? So you got to keep your mindset straight.
Yep. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. So these reservoirs were new to us. This is very recreational here. There's a lot of boaters.
So pretty.
There's a lot of people that are out for the weekend or for long 4-day weekends. So we're used to going out into the middle of a national forest, and so we're comfortable with that. So this is a little bit different of a BLM for us, but really it's the same. But these trailers, I don't know if you can see that coming on the road. Like every couple minutes, another rig is coming down the road.
Yeah, the vehicles
towing a trailer.
The vehicles are rolling in and out and about. I don't know if they're coming in or coming out, but it's busy. Yeah,
it's June 11th or whatever the date is. It's not like it's anything crazy, but it feels like it's a holiday out here.
It does feel like 4th of July.
Yeah.
Which is right around the corner.
Finding the perfect boondocking dispersed free camping site has been a little tough for us. We've found some numerous places that are very, very, very close to perfect, but this one is not perfect. It's got a couple dings against it, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had Attack of the Killer Moths last night. We had
it's like a horror movie.
I swear there was 20 moths in here.
Yeah, they hit out during the day, and then at night, once you turn the lights off and then turned them back on, we opened a cabinet and 3 or 4 popped out. Then we opened another cabinet and more popped out.
And other little bugs. Lots of bugs here.
Yeah, it's very, you can kind of see we're right next to the water. It's a little swampy, but it's really nice. There's a little beach down there, and we've been here for 2 days now, and it's a really nice spot. But the internet, we got 2 bars of Verizon here. So the reason we're heading out right now is because there is no upload speed here. There's a few bars download, and we're able to stream and work and Wi-Fi call okay. But the upload speed is absolutely horrendous here. And I tried for the past day to upload a video, and it's just not working. So we are gonna head to town
for tomorrow's video.
Yeah, actually for tomorrow's video. That's what's kind of tough about traveling, driving, hunting, finding. It's just really hard to get your little routine down and get going. But we are gonna leave our rug and chairs again, and hopefully everybody.
No note this time.
No note this time. We're getting more.
Which was totally unnecessary.
You can see those moths popping around. Yeah, and we're getting a little more comfortable with leaving our stuff. We left them back in Moab, but it's really, really busy here. You can see a string of fifth wheels there. There's probably, oh man, I don't know, 50 to 100 campers at this place.
I'd say 100 easily.
Yeah.
Because down at the very end, there was like 50 down there.
Yeah, that was insane. It's a beautiful spot. It's really nice. If we had this growing up next to where we lived, a free camping for 7 days and a reservoir, I mean, you'd have family reunions out here celebrating birthdays. What a cool spot. But I haven't done a video on, that's our little MIMO Wi-Fi or our MIMO cell booster for our Verizon hotspot. And we have a WeBoost, like the 4Drive 4GX or whatever it's called. We bought that right away before we even got our van, because all of my research said you got to have a 4G Drive X WeBoost. You know, that's what everybody said was the best. And so far, it hasn't been that handy, I guess, the last 18 months. And we just bought that little MIMO booster maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago. Did we get that?
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
For a while.
Yeah, and that was after seeing a video from the Mobile Internet Resource Center from Chris and Cherie, doing one on that little booster. So that thing's like 20 bucks. The WeBoost is $500, and we found ours at a really good deal. I think we paid like $350. But I want to do a little comparison video, because I think if you have the capability of using that little booster, it's way better. So that will be coming up in the future. So we woke up this morning and our solar wasn't charging at all. It went right to float mode. So I open it up back here, and you can see how fried the power wire is, the positive to the battery. The fuse isn't blown. That's a 20 amp fuse. So it's weird that it would just melt like that. I don't know if that charge controller just malfunctioned. Very unusual. Yeah, the charge controller is definitely fried. So I'm not sure if it was something I did or if it's something defective with the controller itself. We've had this since December of 2018. So a year and a half now, over a year and a half. And we haven't had any issues with it at all. But I think like a month ago, I did smell some burning. I thought it was my laptop because it was kind of working on high and the fan was ripping. And I think it was this. So now our generator's on the fritz, and now our controller is on the fritz. So we don't have any way to charge our batteries except for driving.
Or plugging in, don't forget.
Or plugging in, but we haven't plugged in for almost...
Well, you've already long lost the days of plugging in.
Totally forgot about that option. We haven't plugged in for 7 weeks now, but we're, what, 2 weeks away from getting back home?
About 2 weeks. We'll be driveway surfing on the 2nd. So yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is part of RV life and part of having an electrical system like this. So I'm going to look into contacting Victron. I don't know if it's covered under warranty or if it's, like I said, something I did. But either way, we were looking at possibly upgrading that to the 130 because we wanted to maybe put some more solar on the roof. I got some guys helping me out here. They're not doing a very good job though.
I'm a better helper than they are.
Yeah, you are, Chris. They just kind of look at me funny and chomp their hay. So, well, we're leaving this spot tomorrow. This is Wyoming, beautiful Gray Rocks Reservoir.
It's awesome. It's been an interesting little spot here with the cows and moths. We get attacked by moths, flies. The water's awesome. It was a good change up. We're happy we came.
We're hitting some speed bumps here. We got to get the solar figured back out. We might have to plug in somewhere and charge back up because driving just does not charge up quick enough. It'll charge maybe 50% in like 4 or 5 hours of driving.
It would take us a full day of driving
to charge all the way back up. Yeah.
Yeah, which we don't plan on doing.
Yeah, it only charges about 35 amps an hour, 35 to 40. So at a 400 amp battery bank, if we were empty, that would take 10 hours of driving. But I don't know, rough morning. Cows are hanging out underneath the tree, taking a little afternoon siesta. And you can see how dangerous this is with the wire melting. I mean, that's very dangerous. That's how fires start, and it'll be interesting to see what is the cause of that. But no matter how new or how old your RV is, you're always working on something, and that's kind of the tough part about RVing, especially if you're out boondocking. You're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and if you break down, then it can be a problem. Well, we're having a rougher day than the cows are today. Well, it is time to say goodbye to Gray Rocks Reservoir. We spent 6 days here, and we kind of have mixed signals about it right now. It started off really positive. It's so beautiful. It's on this nice large reservoir that's man-made. There's tons of people fishing, and over the weekend it was really hot, and there was boaters and jet skis and tubers, and it was great until we noticed on, was it the first night? No, it was the second night after being here for a full day. We got attacked by moths inside the van. I mean, there was like 50 of them in here.
Yeah, the first night was really, really bad.
And then each night after that, there was about 5 or 6 or 7 moths. Every single night at 9 o'clock, they like came up through the walls, and they just started walking on the windows. And
well, and then you'd wake up, you'd get rid of a couple, you'd go back to bed, and then you close your eyes, and then you hear that. So then it's like, oh, it's like.
Yeah. It's very, I don't know, it's the middle of June, so it's kind of like summer starting. The bugs are coming out. It's right by the water, so obviously there's going to be a lot more bugs. But I kind of put bugs in like 3 categories. 1 is no bugs. That's the best category. 2 are bugs that annoy you. And that's like what we have here. Flies and moths, and there's just a lot of like little things that are swarming around. And
I think that the bugs that are here are going into category 3.
Category 3 are the ones that bite.
These are starting to bite me.
And sting. I know, but
the flies, I got like 19 bug bites this morning cutting your hair.
I'm talking like mosquitoes and or like things that really like the really big biting flies. I know they just started this morning, but we didn't have any flies the rest of the time.
I'm putting this at a 2.5.
Yeah, for you, definitely. You're always a notch above because they like to.
They like me.
They really do. Yeah, the woes are starting to hit us a little bit. So the batteries are great. Nothing wrong with the batteries. They're actually keeping us alive.
Yeah, I misspoke there.
Our Battleborns are working awesome, and that's a good thing. But we have no way to charge them when we're sitting. So our generator is on the fritz. We really never used our generator that much, so we're hoping to, when we get back towards Minneapolis, to have a friend help us kind of tune it up a little bit and get it working, because the thing only has like 20 hours on it. But with our solar on the fritz, that's what happened. This is our Victron charge controller, and it fried on the positive side, so it was actually quite dangerous. That could have started a fire. So on the good side, nothing came out of it harmful, but we do need to get that replaced, which we're in the process of actually talking with some of the guys at Battleborn this afternoon when we get some cell signal to kind of troubleshoot it a little bit.
Yeah, they were super responsive to help us.
And then
which is another thing. We don't have good cell service here. And that's
that was
one more thing that's mounting on the aggravation list.
That's why this site was kind of like, it's bordered between like awesome and not so awesome, just because of like those things. So her calls went great on Sunday. We called actually a few days before that.
That's crazy. I had 20 calls on Sunday. I went through 20 of them without any issues. And then for some reason, Monday morning, we woke up.
Yeah.
And we were just like, dead signal, and I'm like, I don't know how we got so lucky.
Yeah, the service was worse, but this is a very popular spot for the locals during the weekend. There was probably 100 rigs here when we first got in, so we got really lucky to find a private spot here. So I like it. It's peaceful. It's just a few negative things about it, but anyways, we are ready to move on. We got to get this solar thing figured out, because the batteries will charge when we drive, but only 15 minutes on and 20 minutes off. So basically, twice an hour or every 35 minutes, it starts a charge cycle after that. And that charges like 35 to 40 amps an hour. So to charge our whole battery bank up, it would take 10 hours of driving. And we're probably at, 25 or 30%.
We're probably going to drive like 4 hours today.
Yeah. We're just going to head towards Rapid City, South Dakota, which is where we want to spend the last 2 weeks of our stint before we start heading back to Wisconsin and Minneapolis.
Time's flying.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's it. We're going to get moving, and we'll check back in when we get to our next spot, which we actually don't know where that is. But we got a few spots picked out.
It's either going to be in Nebraska or South Dakota.
Yeah, there's a few good spots that we'll get figured out.
See ya.
Let's go.